What's good? It's your boy Rory, and today, actually, before I start, my bad for being gone for about 2 weeks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's just say I've had too much fun. I've had too much fun these past 2 weeks. You know what? And I kind of let it get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this newfound freedom, I let it get away from me, and so I kind of spent a lot of this month just, indulging. I was just indulging. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we're back, and I'm back to putting some fucking work. So we're gonna be covering the wild card. The the divisional weekend and what the NFC Championship weekend is going to. The NFC and AFC Championship weekend is gonna look like. So let's quickly recap what happened in wild card weekend. Now, with this wild card weekend being one of the best I've ever. Divisional. I'm an idiot. Anyways, divisional weekend being some of the best football I've seen in a fat minute. I will say I did watch every single game, and I will just quickly give my opinions on each of these teams and how those games went. So let's start off with the most boring game, that being the Hawks versus the Niners. As a Hawks fan, I will just say we straight just put belt to ass on San Fran, and it was over as soon as he took the kickoff all the way down for a touchdown. As soon as that happened, San Fran was already cooked, and they also were rocking into this game without Kittle, which was probably basically the nail in the coffin for this team, where they were kind of just a fluke of a team, especially for how injured they were, all around offense and defense. And even McCaffrey, he even ended up having a slight leg thing during that game. It was kind of really just more showing how good what good coaching really can do, and the beauty of the Shanahan offense, where you just really need the quarterback to make plays. Because remember, Ayuk wasn't there, Pearsall got injured, all those guys got injured, but they still managed to go to get the almost win the 1 seed. I can't lie to you, that for Niners fans, just know that you guys should be able to come back stronger than ever, especially if you just stay healthy. But I will just say is that San Fran will come to a head, especially with all these contracts that they have. So San Fran might be seeing better days or dark days very soon in their future. Though I think the offseason will really tell. With Seattle, honestly, these guys can really do anything, right? With that dark side defense of theirs and, Sam Darnold, this team is complete. They're fully complete. And I am somewhat maybe biased by saying this because I am a Hawks fan at the end of the day. But even with that personal bias aside, it's looking at our team having one of the best defenses in the league, right? In my opinion, the best defense in the league. Because remember, I feel we outplayed Houston's defense when we matched up against them. But regardless, Seattle controls their own destiny, and it hasn't felt this way since about 2015, or since that fateful day. Anyways, but besides that, Seattle really holds just needs to make sure that they just keep playing the same brand of football they've been playing all season. Okay, that's the main thing. And we also have the benefit of the doubt by having home field advantage. So good luck to LA, and I will hope that we will be back here, and I will be absolutely most annoying person ever, talking about how my team won. But anyways, on to the next game, that being the Rams versus the Bears. This was that fourth quarter definitely had you on your seat, because I can't lie to you, it was not fun watching a lot of that game. But man, that fourth quarter and the comeback that Caleb had, man, Caleb Williams, he's really just this generation's Russell Wilson, to say the least. I think he really is that type of player. I feel like a lot of people just did not put their finger on it, but I think Caleb Williams is really just the zesty version of Russell Wilson. And honestly, I like Caleb Williams, man. I like what he does, because you know what? He's the type of person, even though his on-field play is great, the thing is he's going to catch heat from the media because of the painted nails and, his demeanor and all this, even though it's not even disruptive to how he actually plays. So I feel like, to me, a lot of the Caleb Williams hate is just unwarranted, and I think it's just forced, to say the least. Goes for all black quarterbacks, but again, I will say is that the main thing that really cost the Bears this game was really just how they were just, I think, in my opinion, they just outcoached to say the least. I think there's McVay kind of showed Ben Johnson you got pretty far, but this is where it's the end of the road for these guys. some people were saying, there could be things you could like argue about over that game. Like I think there was a pick that was controversial, or the Devontae Adams catch, but in my opinion, he was in. But I will just say that, in my opinion, watching the Chicago Bears, this may seem crazy saying it, but they like watching them and watching Seattle. If you watch them too, you probably will see a lot of similarities between the two teams. Look, this is sounds crazy. It's not disrespectful, but Chicago literally just looks like an inferior Seattle. They just look like the B grade Seattle team. Like they look like if Seattle's A grade is like an A, Chicago's a B plus. Literally, if they were slightly better, they'd literally be Seattle. They would literally just be Seattle, the Seattle Seahawks, in terms of just how good they are on both sides of the ball. Because they're good, but they're not great, if you get what I'm saying. Right? With LA being great on offense while good on defense. But anyways, now let's go to the AFC. With the Bills and Broncos game. Some people want to say that Brandon Cooks caught that ball, and I'm just going to honestly disagree, man. He did not have full possession, and even when his knee was down, he was fighting for the ball. He was still trying to fully actually have the ball in his hands. And in my opinion, I think as well, in my opinion. And also, I will say just what really killed like Buffalo in the end, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you, it was just flags, discipline, because imagine that Tre'Davious White like PI call, imagine that doesn't happen, like Knicks doesn't march down the field. But I will just say the main thing is that I think if anything, Josh Allen really cost these guys the game, especially with like multiple picks, and those picks were quite important, especially the one after the Bills managed to get a pick, and then he turns over the ball right after they get a turnover for him. I'm just saying, if you're trying to win a football game, don't do that. But I will just say, where Josh Allen's shortcomings happens, luck may have him instead, because Broncos may have won that game, but it cost them everything. It cost them Bo Nix. And I don't know. I will say is that if the Patriots are really the Patriots, they could actually lose to a shitty backup QB. It's happened 3 times in their history. Though, I love Eli Manning, but that's what people consider him. I think he's a great quarterback, but think about it. Nick Foles and Eli Manning kind of own that dude. Granted, I think low-key was Brady's, Belichick not putting in Malcolm Butler, but again, anyways, but still. Now, looking at that Patriots and Texans game, it just shows that CJ Stroud did not play his best brand of football there. He just didn't. And I will say that I want to defend CJ because I know he's a good quarterback, but for the fact that Houston refused to put anything for his O-line, and the fact that he was dealing with like injuries at his receiving and running back, I forgot that Joe Mixon was even out. I was just remembering Tank Dell. I forgot all about Mixon. I literally forgot about it. But I will say, I think honestly, I think that Houston should re-sign Stroud. I don't think moving off of Stroud, I think is just yet. To me, because one, CJ is a guy that wants to keep improving. He's not he has the mentality of wanting to win. To me, I wouldn't let go of a guy like CJ, to say the least. I understand he played a stinker, right? He sold that defense of theirs. But I think CJ is a guy worth believing in my opinion, especially when you're talking about like the intangibles that he has. He may have overstepped his bounds by saying he was the best top 5 QB after his rookie year. Okay. That's just like, a little, you feeling a little hype, you know what I'm saying? So you know what? I can't blame my brother for being confident in himself. I can't. But I will say is that one, Drake May looked good in this game. He looked good. And I will say New England has a very solid squad heading into this. And how this goes, honestly, I think whoever plays better, I think, between Drake May and Matthew Stafford in this championship weekend will just determine who wins MVP. Now, if we have an MVP versus MVP bowl, as much as I'd like to see that happen, that would come at the cost of my team, my own personal sanity. But again, I think Drake May definitely, has the abilities and has the ability to bring this New England team to a Super Bowl. And especially for the fact they're all it's a very good young team. They have everything they need to make a Super Bowl appearance. But I will say is that Sean Payton has been there in the biggest moments of his career So I think Sean Payton will be definitely one of the factors that lead to who will be at Super Bowl 60. Now moving on to championship weekend, right? We have the Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks, and we have the Patriots versus the Denver Broncos. What do all four of these teams need to do to come out on top? Let's start with the Seahawks. One, with Seattle, we really just need to understand that we need to play man coverage. It's about man coverage, keeping Puka down. It's just taking Puka out of the offense and getting the 12th man on every single Los Angeles snap they take on offense. If we can get the 12th man going and stop Puka Nacua and really just shut down this offense of McVay's, then it's gonna make it very easy for Sam Darnold to be able to manage the game. I will say, and generally, for this team, whichever team gets the most turnovers in their favor will really be able to win it. And I think this will also be another game between LA and Seattle where special teams will become very crucial, especially for the fact that Brandon Mevis has missed some clutch kicks, since that game. Like, did miss an important kick that game and some other ones, afterwards. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure he's actually been pretty good since that game. But at the end of the day, turnovers and special teams. What the Rams need to do to win, I don't want them to win, but I guess this is what they have to do, right? They need to, one, shut down that Seattle running game, especially for the fact that, one, Zach Charbonnet, who's a lot more important than people would think he is to this Seattle run offense, will definitely be a key thing that Seattle needs to understand. Is that are they going to start George Holani, Jamal Williams, or Kyron Lacey, my bad. Now, I didn't even know they signed Jamal Williams, but hey, I would love to see, the fifth Kazakage of the village hitting in the den. I would love to see him go crazy one last time. I want to see him get that ring. Who doesn't love Jamal Williams, man? Detroit legend, my man. But anyways, but for LA, they really need to understand is that they need to stop the run game, right? Because Seattle is a team that sets up their pass by using heavy sets. Because one, they're trying to fake you out, make you think, are they going to run the ball here or are they going to go play fake, right? If they can stop that run game and force Seattle to be pass heavy and getting in Sam Darnold's head to make mistakes, that's what really win them this game. Is really if that defense can generate pressure on Sam Darnold and forcing them to pass a lot more than they should. But if they let Kenneth Walker have another field day out there, then it's going to make LA have a very hard path to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. And it may be hard to say the least. Also, the main thing is that LA players need to understand that you're walking into Lumen Field in the most important game that Seattle has had in a decade. So, I wish them luck. Actually, no, I don't wish them luck. I wish you guys lose. I hope y'all lose. But, again, I wish you do well. Or not. But again, let's move on to the AFC Championship game. Patriots versus Broncos. The Patriots are going to be going to Mile High Stadium in Denver, which definitely will mean that, one, Denver having that that altitude being a factor in this game. And trust me, as a former Coloradan, that altitude can definitely do things to you, and can definitely have you gassed out more than you would be normally. As someone that used to live in Virginia, then I moved to Colorado and lived there for a few years. That thinner air really can become pretty substantial when you're at least first in it, where it takes up to a week to acclimate. So it's one of the few hidden advantages that Mile High has in this. But the main thing they really need to do is really just rally around with Denver specifically. They really need to rally around that run game of theirs and really trying to make sure that Jason Stidham can just be in a position to just manage the game and not really have to, put the team on his back. He just has to keep the team in it, just march down the field, even if it's just field goals and a touchdown or two. They just need to put Stidham in a position for not only this game, but the next game, if they win, to just be a game manager, just a guy that's just there to just not fuck it up, right? What the Patriots need to do, on the other hand, is they really need to, one, get Stim to make mistakes. Again, a backup in the most important game of his life. Now, unless he pulls a Nick Foles, which I doubt, it would be very easy to have just Jason Stidham start looking like Max Brosmer the way he's playing, if they can just get into his face and make him make costly mistakes. And also, just one, make sure that Denver defense doesn't do what they want to do, especially with PS2 and them being one of the best pass defenses. They're going to really need to get Ramondre really involved in this game, especially right from the start. From the first drive, they need to get Ramondre in there and get that run game going. If they get that run game going for New England, they're going to be able to win this game if they can just force, if they can definitely, then that opens up the rest of their playbook. And I will say, I don't think Drake May really needs to be an X factor in this game, but it really just needs to be, I think one guy on that receiving core really needs to step up for them to win a game. Will that be Booty? Will that be, Diggs? Will that be Hunter Henry? I don't know, but one of them may have to step up, especially against this Denver defense. Again, I will say is that, one, Bronco does have the coaching benefit, have the coaching plus for the fact that they have Sean Payton, which has been in many big time games throughout his career, especially with his time on the Saints. So, and he is also a Super Bowl winner. He's actually one of two Super Bowl winning coaches still left in the playoffs as we speak. So, that's what it will take. So, can New England get it done, and can Denver just hold on? It's going to come down to that. Is that, one, New England is playing to revive a dynasty, while Denver is just fighting to survive to just hopefully see the Super Bowl. But I will just say is that with this AFC Championship weekend, is whoever wins the NFC Championship game, in my opinion, is going to be your Super Bowl 60 champions, if we're really being honest, because LA or Seattle making it will basically be able to have to play against either Drake May, which, again, young second year QBs don't always do the greatest. And Drake May, this would be one of the few times where a quarterback could just have their worst performance ever. And putting Jason Stidham into a game in the most important game of his career can also mean they absolutely just melt down and play like straight garbage. With LA and Seattle having top offenses and defenses, they can make into a pretty easy blowout for either AFC team. And so my prediction for this is that, one, Seattle is going to beat LA in the championship game, making it to Super Bowl 60, with New England setting up the rematch of the decade. 11 years later, we're two new quarterbacks, new coaches, new teams, new cultures, right? This will be a rematch that will be talked about. And I feel that this rematch will be talked about for the fact that, one, Seattle will walk into Santa Clara, dominate, blow out the Patriots, and hold that Lombardi in San Fran Stadium, and hold that Lombardi high. I probably can see a Rashid Shaheed punt return touchdown as well. I see it now. But anyways, I will say is that, as a Hawks fan, how do I feel about this championship weekend? In my opinion, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling like there's minimal worries for me about any of these teams that we are facing. And this team that we're facing. I think we have it in us. And apparently, Horton might be coming back off IR. I mean, if we can get him off IR for this game or Super Bowl 60, I would love to see the rookie have a 40-yard touchdown. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. But again, we can only hope. We can only hope. And with that, I will see you guys in the next time. And I will just say one last thing. Is go Hawks. LA, welcome to the dark side. Hey Google, change the lights to black.